Hello everyone, and welcome back to the 20 years of Call of Duty. This is currently Call of Duty Ghosts, and this time we're doing the level we don't enjoy, which I may have mentioned last time is the second level, Brave New World. So let's get right into it. This is a bit of a slower level than Clockwork, so I'll have more time to talk about things and go in depth into why I don't particularly like this level. But without further ado, let's begin.
The Federation's rise to power had started years ago, when the great energy-producing deserts were destroyed. The world powers that depended on them collapsed, and in their wake, the Federation began to rise. The Federation united all of South America under one banner, and devoured everything in its path, as it moved relentlessly to the north. After turning Odin against us, the Federation stood on the doorstep of America, poised for the kill. They thought we were weak, crippled, prey, waiting to be taken. We fought hard. We fought well. We fought them to a bloody stalemate. And here, just beyond the craters of No Man's Land, we find ourselves in a defensive war against a more powerful enemy.
So yeah, this level sort of is the main real first level of the game. The first level being Homecoming or whatever it's called, or I can't remember what it's actually called now. But that's irrelevant. But it begins with the space battles, and then you're transitioning between that and your main character Logan and his family, seeing everything happening, which features some very lazy porting over of Modern Warfare 2's animations. If you've never noticed that or know about that, have a quick look at that if you're interested. It's pretty poor. Some people tried to say it was a homage, and I just thought, no, it's definitely lazy. But here we are. So this is the 10 years on from America being sort of blown up, which is a bit of a weird place to take Call of Duty. I know we'd had Modern Warfare 2's, like Russian invasion of America, but it never got post-apocalyptic like this game. And the problem with all this is it's somewhat different for Call of Duty, but I think in a world, inadvertently, it's not the developer's fault, but when you'd had a game like The Last of Us in 2013, this all just looked very basic and generic. If you either like The Last of Us or don't, there's one thing you can't deny, and that's environmental storytelling and design is out of this world. And so when you come to something like this, and I know it's Call of Duty, and I know it's dumb and all that, but it really stands out as being somewhat underpowered. Just take a moment to look at the. I really hate the color, I don't know what you'd call it, like the colour layout or the colour scheme of this game. It is so dull and drab, and I know Call of Duty has always been dull and drab, but even Modern Warfare 1 and 2 were not this drab. Modern Warfare 3 was, and this game very much looks like Modern Warfare 3 in a lot of places. It's a slightly upgraded version. As I said, Modern Warfare 3 1.5, I think I said in the level I did like. The noteworthy thing about this game was that it's got a dog. Riley, which I think we may see a bit of gameplay in this, I can't remember. But the reason I don't like this level is I just think it's boring. It's like the worst of COD. You're going to be following your brother Hesh. Not much gets to you. There's not much creativity for the player. It's just very generic shootouts. It's kind of the worst way for the game to start. Worst foot forward. Here's the slide. As I say, we're fighting like South Americans in this game. But yeah, you would have thought that this game, like vistas like this and visuals like this, would be interesting and stand out and be quite unique to Call of Duty, because especially 10 years on, you've not had another game like this with this whole setting. But it doesn't really fully commit to it, and it's not interesting. I mean, this is all very cool. It is very Last of Us looking, even a little bit Evil Within, which should come a little bit later. And they really should have played into this more and done something different with this Call of Duty, because when you see all this, it's kind of cool, but, come the end of the game, you've got tanks, it's all very, very military, which it's got to be because it's Call of Duty, but it's like pick a lane and kind of stick in it. I think a more interesting concept would have been, the whole South American thing, if they wanted to do that, would have been an all-out war between the two, maybe show how that war started. That would have been pretty cool. I may die here, because I'm not paying attention. That would have been cool. And, we could have gone into, like, the jungles of Colombia, and maybe there could have been a real good back and forth where they start taking lots of ground, like they're in America to begin with. And as I say, you could go in the Colombian jungles, maybe finish in, like, Rio de Janeiro, a bit of a throwback to the favela things, or Argentina and Buenos Aires. You could have done a lot with that. And I'm kind of just spitballing. There's nothing concrete here with what I'm saying, but I don't know. I think all of those things I said just would have been better than what we got. I just don't find this particularly interesting or engaging. I mean, to be fair, the game's going for a different angle. It's the whole conflict takes a backseat to this real like family drama that's not interesting. Because Hesh, your companion here, is your brother, which I believe would have been a first. In fact, I'm 100% certain it would have been a first. But like, you've got civilians being executed, and it's kind of you're like, oh, is this some like dark game where they're like, you know, oppressively being ruled? But you're in these like no man's land areas, but it's never really fleshed out. And I can't remember if it's this level or the next one, so I'll bring it up now, where you go back to your family's like house. You know, because obviously the first level starts you there 10 years ago when the attacks happen. And that to me is just complete narrative stupidity for building a narrative. If they wanted you to return to your home ground, your place of like birth, place of upbringing, whatever, they really should have done that at the end of the game, not straight after you've already seen it. That would have had a bit more of an impact. It's not particularly great gameplay or original, but the game could have ended there and you could have had your villain who's, you know, hunting your dad, Rourke, you know, and he could have gone to your family house and there could have been an interesting moment. Or something like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, that is not great narrative. It's very generic. It's very, you know, you've seen it a million times in any kind of shitty Steven Seagal film. But it's something better than what we got, isn't it? But I say, I think this was the era of laziness for Call of Duty. And this is the first big firefight of the game. I do remember the first time I played this. It would have been Boxing Day 10 years ago. Is that a red barrel? No. I do remember having a little bit of trouble because I was a little bit rusty. I say my sort of history with this game is this is like the first Call of Duty that I kind of stopped playing religiously. Ah, there you go, there's a death. This was the one I didn't play religiously at all. I played the campaign, as you do. Didn't particularly enjoy it. I thought it was okay, I had some good levels that we'll see and touch on. But it was the one that I gave up with multiplayer. You know, I was somebody that did play a lot of multiplayer, not as much as some of my friends, but I did play. I put my fair share of hours into it. I'd be lying. I'd be a massive liar if I said that I didn't put a lot of time into it. I used to at least hit one prestige every Call of Duty. I think Black Ops 2 I may have done two, because there wasn't many levels in that one. Can I shoot down this chopper? That would be... No, that would be interesting and cool. Oh, you can. I apologise, game. That's cool. Is it going to land on me, though? There you go, that's a bit of gameplay. I've changed my mind, 10 out of 10. Although the screen shaking has just made me want to shoot myself. And I did lose my train of thought in doing that. But yeah, sorry, playing these games, putting hundreds of hours into them. Yeah, this was the one where I stopped with that. I just didn't enjoy the multiplayer. The maps were massive off memory. I mean, that might not stand anymore because I don't know what they're like anymore online. But yeah, the maps were just too big. It was like trying to be next gen, but we weren't ready for it. And the player counts just didn't matter. In terms of this game's competitor, it was Battlefield 4, which turned out to be a massive dud. Which was a major shock, actually, because Battlefield 4 should have wiped this game. And I think overall, in the end, it did, but Battlefield 4 was a mess at launch. EA really should have just waited to release the game a few months later. They obviously wanted to compete with COD Ghosts at the same release date, but they should have just held their horses, because they had a quality product on their hands there, but they decided to rush it out the door. And they only hurt themselves by doing that. I think Battlefield's reputation took a long time to recover from that, because Hardline wasn't particularly great afterwards. And Battlefield 1 put them back on the road, and then Battlefield 5 cocked it up again. So Battlefield's had its own struggles. And I think Battlefield's kind of messed it up more than Call of Duty, in all honesty, because at least Call of Duty still sells. And so does Battlefield, but, you know, Battlefield had it all in their hands to become the number one FPS game, but certainly the military game. And they really did bottle it, and I am struggling. So we may have to do some editing here, because I'm not paying attention. Oh, this again? Do people want to see this chopper get shot down again? Right, I'm in a similar location. We are back. Back where we should be, not dying to silly things. As I say, you've got to pay this isn't a particularly hard Call of Duty, but you do have to pay a little bit of attention, certainly more than I don't know which Call of Duty I was going to refer to then. Black Ops Cold War. That is a game you breeze through. And that'll be an interesting one when I play that, because that's a Call of Duty where I can't think of a level I dislike, because that game is all kinds of good. Its only problem is it's too short. It needed like another, like 3 or so levels. But we ain't there yet, so we'll shut up about that. But yeah, 2013, what a time to be alive. As I say, you had these 3 mega juggernauts in terms of Game of the Year contenders with GTA 5, The Last of Us, and Bioshock Infinite. I only really played one of those properly at launch. I did play a lot of GTA 5, but Last of Us was mine. I had a good friend who watches this, and will be watching now, who absolutely loves Bioshock Infinite, so that was his sort of one. I'd say if you put a gun to my head and asked me to play any of those 3 games now, it would definitely be Last of Us and Bioshock over GTA 5. Jesus. How that game is still getting traction now, as we no scope this fall. But this firefight always sticks out in my head, because I think it was the moment when I was like, I distinctly remember playing this on Boxing Day and like having Soccer Saturday on of all things. I don't know why I've stuck onto this memory. I just remember playing this and thinking, this is just Call of Duty and I'm bored of it. It was like the first time ever where one of these things had come out. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there were... it took me a long time to probably get to this point. I had friends who probably were done with Call of Duty far earlier than this. But it distinctly remember sticking out in my head and just remember thinking, Jesus, this series is getting a little bit boring now. And that just made me sad, really, because it had been a lot of fun. This is an interesting rocket launcher, guiding with the laser. It reminded me of Nightfire, if anybody ever played that, the James Bond game. But you had to guide it against, like, this rock-looking dude. I thought this was difficult. Why do I have memories of this being tricky? Oh, there it is. Big hind D. Big Metal Gear Solid boss fight. Right, come here, you Russian freak. Haha! Oh, who's still going? He's still going. There we go, have that. Get me in space. So you won't see any of the space fights in this. I may do one just because it's kind of so important to the game. But this might be the end of the level, actually. I can't remember, it's a while. So now we see the wall and everything. It's just not creative, is it? It is creative, but nothing's done with it. When I play this game, I just think, what a waste, They couldn't even get the dog, to be interesting, to be honest with you. It just becomes basically a grenade that you just click and point on bad guys. I don't think we'll see any of the dog gameplay either. But I see, it's not that post-apocalyptic because we've got, tanks and we've got our own space, but is that the level? No, I didn't... Yeah, I thought it went on. Fort Santa Monica. I think Santa Monica's where they make these games, isn't it? Do you know something? It might be the next level. Oh, this is really dumb. Doesn't this guy say, "Hey, Riley," and the dog barks? Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, everyone loved the dog. That was basically their whole E3 presentation in 2013. You had games like Killzone Shadowfall, which admittedly turned out to not be very good, but they had these amazing presentations showing all these, graphics, basically, and using the touchpad, and this game was like, we've got dogs, and arms that are more hairy than Modern Warfare 3. That was literally what they said, and the famous fish. Who can forget the fish? Do you see your dad before in this? Yeah, you do. Dad's leading it. It's this proper bro, bro gamer era, wasn't it? But it was at the point where that had got old and tired. Gears of War had come out a long time ago. We got sick of this. Gears of War's the only one that really got it spot on with them 4 legends: Coltrane, Baird, Dom, and of course the main one, Marcus Phoenix. I did not just forget that. Let's listen to this family drama.
You boys, you're the only thing I've got left in this world. Dad, listen, but you're also the only ones I can trust. Hey, look, whatever it is, Logan and I, we're ready. You two are going to no man's land.
Oh, damn.
We've been on the defensive
defensive for far too long. So I'm sending you outside the wall. You'll link up with a recon team, gather any intel you can on the enemy, and get your asses back here.
So where in no man's land are we going?
Somewhere you know better than anyone. You're going home.
So that's what I was on about earlier. That just has zero impact, doesn't it? Because we only didn't just see home. You know, if you're playing this game properly for the first time, you've only just seen home about 20 minutes ago. I actually think it's the next level I dislike more, but I don't particularly like that one either, so I'm happy with it being this one.
Created when Odin was turned against us.
But yeah, that was Brave New World. The next level's Homecoming, isn't it? Yeah, and that's where you sort of see your home.
No man's land.
That level's pretty boring as well. It doesn't start well, this game, it has to be said.
Sending us out there.
I'm kind of tempted to play, but this is the level with Riley and everything. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys. We're really meant to be doing individual levels. If I wanted to play the whole damn game, I'd just play the whole damn game. But I don't really want to. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. We've got 2 more levels of COD Ghost to go, because I think we'll do 3 that we enjoy. We want to stay positive. But yeah, Brave New World. It's a pretty big toss-up between No Man's Land and Brave New World. Homecoming is way down the line. I don't know why. I don't know why that was called Homecoming. But yeah, that tries to lead more into the post-apocalyptic thing without really succeeding. But yeah, the other 2 levels we're going to do are Legends Never Die, because that game's got some interesting concepts, actually. And it's kind of, I think it's either going to be Federation Day, because that's quite a standout level, or Atlas Falls. I'm probably leaning towards Federation Day, because Atlas Falls you've kind of seen already on Modern Warfare 2. It wasn't that unique, whereas Federation Day is kind of unique to this game. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, guys, and hope you've had a good Christmas, and welcome to the Never Zone, the 27th to the 31st. See you guys for the next level.